Commissioners. The regular board meeting for the date of Wednesday, November 14th, 2018 at 10 a.m. is now in session. Let the record reflect that we did hold an executive session according to Indiana Code Section 5-14-1.5-6, Section B, and that no items were discussed other than those that were posted for the public. With that, we'll have a roll call.
Commissioner Tommy Williams.
Here.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson.
She's coming down.
It's coming in now.
Is present. Commissioner Renee Patterson.
Present.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner.
Present. We do have a quorum. We will continue. Let us begin with our pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have Pam Bowman, Thelma Cornelius, Valen, is that Clark? Okay. Are all of you here on the same issue?
Yes.
Okay, then,
Instead of my name, let, Judith Meade go,
No, don't let Judy go.
because she's the spokesperson.
That's what my friend said.
okay, so is she the spokesperson for the whole group? Or
We have two, right.
you have two spokespersons?
Pam, right, but Pam and Judith.
Okay, I'm gonna invite the two of you to come forward. Okay, yeah, you wanna tell us who you are and why you're here, and you got about 3 minutes.
Okay, my name is Pam Bowman. I'm the congregate meal manager at the Roosevelt site. And I've had some communications recently in the past with Linda Meadows and Miss Harris, because it seems like there has been concerns about access to the kitchen at the Roosevelt site for renters. And I know Judith will expound on that, but there is some concern. Usually when there have been renters, there has been no cleanup afterwards, and the seniors on Monday morning have had to come in, take out garbage, clean floors, clean the bathrooms. Last August, they came in after it had been rented, and the sink in the women's bathroom had literally been torn off the wall. And the women's bathroom had been out of commission for over 2 weeks before it had been repaired. The other thing is that with the MOU that I have with the park board, it states that the building will be kept up and that there will be heating and air conditioning. There has not been any air in that building since last summer. We had about 1 month of last summer's season, and there has been no air conditioning at all. Someone had come in and brought some standalone units. There were 2. They were about as good as a fan, and plus they could not run both units at the same time because all the fuses would blow in the building. So they had to reset all the fuses. So one actually was running, but you had to stand in front of it to get any coolness. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, it can be up to 40 people there exercising, seniors. And it was just so sweltering this summer that the seniors just didn't come out. They didn't get their meals that they had signed up for, which is a shame, because that's what we're there for, is to feed the community and get the seniors, out and active, because they do exercising, they do all these other things. So they have concerns about use. I guess there were some concerns about use of the kitchen for renters when you rent out the building. Let me just tell you what I have witnessed. Linda Meadows had just asked me, she goes, Pam, can the class of 76 please use the kitchen? I said, the appliances are owned by the nutrition program. They were bought by NICA specifically for the nutrition program. They're very nice items, they're very nice appliances, and they want to keep them nice. The fridge is full of all of their condiments, such as their hot sauce, their mustard, their ketchup, their butters, their milks that are left over. All of those items the fridge is full of, bottled water. So if we would give use to renters, what were they going to do with all of their items? Plus, those things are their property, and they really are concerned about them being walked away, that they come Monday morning and they're not there, or they're broken or abused or misused. When the class of 76 used the kitchen, I was assured that they would not, all they wanted was use to get water in our big sinks that the nutrition program before me installed, which is fine. I said, okay, as long as they don't use any of the appliances. It just happened I was working in the community garden because this is our second year that we started a community garden at Roosevelt, which I'm very proud of. The seniors have really worked hard to get a community garden going there. And they benefit from all the fruit and vegetables. Well, I was working in the community garden while this event was started and going on. And because there was no air conditioning, I had all the doors open. Well, I had walked near the front door and I looked in and they had pots on the stove. And they had assured me there would be security in the building while this event was going on. And I was in the garden on the north side of the building, which the pool is between the garden and the building. And I worked there for hours in the garden. And I had noticed this lady in a car near the garden area, almost to the baseball fields. And before I left, I went up and I knocked on her window because I had seen no security in the building or near the building. And she rolled down her window and she had a security uniform on, had never gotten out of the car for hours, and she had 3 babies in the back of her car, that she was babysitting, or they were her children or something.
Okay, let me stop you there. The fact that she was there, with the two discussions going on here, they said they would have security, somebody showed up to do security. Now, how well they perform their job is not the responsibility of the class of 76.
Correct.
Those are two separate issues.
But I think
So,
that's park department responsibility.
Well, I don't know whether if we were responsible for that security or not. I have no idea. But here's what I want to do. I need very succinctly, your basic issue is that there's a stove there and a refrigerator there that was provided. And a freezer provided by your organization for the use of summer feeding. Or for feeding of seniors, is that what you're telling me?
Correct, for the nutrition program.
Oh, for the nutrition program. And your concern is that other entities that may be renting or using the facility also using that equipment?
We have been asked to allow that to happen.
Okay.
And the seniors have not wanted it to happen because it's their property.
The major question is, who is going to replace or repair any damage that happened because of the use of non-seniors?
So-
That's the major question.
Right now, we have been locking the freezer and the
Oh,
refrigerator
you
door.
can't lock it though. You
Well,
can lock
we
it.
we bolt it with a chain lock,
They open it.
but nothing's stopping
Yeah, you go
anybody
in.
from using the
Now,
stove.
George, you want to?
Sure. So here's how this kind of came into discussion. Councilwoman Barnes had a community meeting. It was about 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
2 weeks ago. She had a community meeting that she wanted to serve food at. And just going purely based on the contract, our contract does not state that in the facility that is under the purview of the Parks Department, that we don't have access to anything in the building. I don't know, while it's true that P&B Consulting has provided the appliances, it's my understanding that there were appliances there before. Now, what happened to those appliances, if those appliances were disposed of in order to provide better, newer ones, that I don't know. That kind of predates me, it goes back some years. I haven't been able to discover one way or the other if that's the case.
I was
But
a
the,
volunteer for Midtown.
ma'am, I'm sorry, I sat here while they,
But I just wanted
ma'am,
to say.
I sat here while they
Okay,
spoke
go
and I
ahead.
didn't interrupt.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The discussion came into play because, again, Councilwoman wanted to use the kitchen. On that particular day, she went in to use the kitchen, and it's my understanding from her that the refrigerator was locked up. She said she wanted to put some water in the refrigerator. She wasn't able to do so. She had to go get a cooler. I'll say this, as far as the air conditioning is concerned, yeah, there was no air conditioning during the summer. We got multiple estimates. It's estimated to be over $7,000 to provide a new air conditioning unit.
How old is the building?
In the 70s.
Yeah.
Or the building's
Yeah.
40, 50 years old?
Yeah. And so, you know, it's unfortunate that we weren't able to afford to be able to do it. But the other thing, we've got to have a balance. I think the programming that is provided for the nutritionists is absolutely essential and critical in our community, and I applaud them for continuing to do so. However, the inability for us to be able to agree or to come to a common understanding about the use of the kitchen prohibits us from being able to rent out the facility on the weekends, and thus generate revenue, which could then be reinvested into the repair or the replacement of things. And so there's got to be some kind of medium where we meet. I don't want to hamper anything that they're doing, but at the same time, what's being done can't prohibit us from doing what we need to do in order to make sure that we're able to provide the upkeep of the facility, not only for the feeding program, but for any other person who wants to have a community event at that facility.
Okay, then this is what I'm going to do, all right, because this will not be worked out today, all right? What we need to do is to meet with Mr. George, or perhaps Mr. George and myself, and another board member, and to see if it is possible that we can find some kind of happy medium. We need to be able to rent the facility. We need to be able to rent the facility in such a way that it allows the renters to use the entirety of the space, and how we figure that out is something that we will have to be able to sit down and talk about. There's a stove there, you know, and you're having a small event. You got to be able to use the stove, but these are some things that we have to sit down and talk about face to face. The facility is for the community's use, for the entire community's use. That's its intention. And again, as Mr. George has said, we are thankful for the nutrition program. We're thankful for the senior citizens that gather there and use it, but we gotta come to some kind of understanding where we all can make this work, and that's not gonna happen today. So,
Yes, but we have sent 2 petitions, one in November of last year and one in May of this year, requesting that just maintenance, which is part of this agreement, I understand it, Pam, that you guys are supposed to be responsible for, and nothing has been done. We got the floor swapped.
okay, let
once.
me address that. You are absolutely right. Maintenance is an issue. Maintenance is an issue not just there, but throughout the entire system. We have 56 parks in here.
How many pavilions are operating?
But most of them are not. But
Okay.
because we don't have the resources to adequately keep them up.
Okay,
Let me
there's one or
finish,
two,
let me finish.
and
let
you
me
can't
finish.
keep the one
Let me
clean and
finish, let me
decent?
finish. It's like the air conditioning. right? We didn't have the money to fix the air conditioning, and chances are the air conditioning will not be working in 2019. Because that is a symptom of where we are financially in terms of available resources. That's just the real deal.
So there's no soap or water?
Again, what I am suggesting is that we have an opportunity, to sit down and to see what we can work out. And again, that won't happen at today's meeting.
Well, I'm concerned that we have already given you written proof of ever be addressed.
I'm not arguing that there are not challenges or issues. I'm not.
We are not saying that either, and we
Okay.
understand that
Then
it is a
let's
tight
make-
budget
then
area.
let's-
But
let's
it's only
have
one
an
operating
opportunity.
facility, you ought to be able to keep that one
Let's take
clean.
an opportunity before we get out of 2018, to actually sit down, hold a conversation, see what we can hammer out in terms of that facility, and so that we are all on the same page and it works for everybody. But you should understand,
Okay, it's now the end of November, can we get a date today?
After the meeting, we can set a date.
okay, yeah, Mr. George will contact you with a date, and I'm willing to come to the meeting. But you should understand that our resources are limited, right? And we want you to stay, we want the program to work, we want you to use the facility, but let's sit down and see how we can make that work, okay?
I just have one more comment from what you just said. So what you're saying, if you want the use of their appliances, and if a renter should abuse them and ruin them, you are saying you don't have the resources to either replace or fix those appliances.
I didn't say any of that. I said,
Well, you
let's
just-
sit down and talk about how we can make this work, right? And you are like, you are assuming the position of a negative. When as president of the
Well,
park board, I'm
that's what we've
saying,
experienced.
let's sit down and see what we can work out.
That's what we've experienced.
Because when
We're
Miss-
complaining about the maintenance and nothing has improved.
But Miss Councilman Caldwell, when she was there, when the seniors came back in after her meeting on the next morning, they had used the microwave that the seniors own but don't even use really on top of the refrigerator. The door was left open and they had gone and got an extension cord from another part of the building and left it just sitting outside the kitchen door that the seniors could trip over. Now, if you get something from one part of the building, you should at least put those items back. And that's what the seniors are seeing and experiencing, and that's what we just wanted to let you know.
And I'm saying that sit down and have this discussion and see what we can do to make
And
it work.
that would be awesome.
And you know, when we have the discussion, let's see how we can make it a win-win for everybody.
Fire alarm. We are about to resume the park board meeting for the date of November 14, 2018. We were interrupted by a fire alarm. Glad to report that there was no fire, but it did eat up a lot of our meeting time, and there is a meeting that will closely follow this one. For that reason, I'm entertaining a motion that we would suspend the agenda for today and simply concentrate on action items.
So moved.
And a second? Roll call?
Commissioner Tommy Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Renee Patterson?
Yes.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner?
Yes. With that, I will address your attention to the approval of claims for the date of November 14th, 2018, and entertain a motion for approval. Mr. President, is there anything in particular that you want to point out about our claims?
Oh. I don't have anything that's out of the ordinary, just our regular payment of bills.
Any questions from board members?
I make a motion, we approve claims.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Tommy Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Renee Patterson?
Yes.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner?
Yes. That takes us to
Minutes.
payroll expenditures. I picked them up.
Okay.
Payroll expenditures for the date of pay period October 1st through October 14th, and pay date of October 26th.
I make a motion with approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Tommy Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Renee Patterson? And
Yes.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner?
Yes. Legal report.
There are none today.
On the administrative report, I'm going to move directly to action items. Oh, yeah. Before we do that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the date of Wednesday, October 24th.
So moved.
Roll call?
Commissioner Tommy Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Renee Patterson?
Yes.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner?
Yes. There were 3 items that were, I believe, discussed at our executive session that we will bring forward for action by the board. The first of these is Steel City Biddy Basketball. I will entertain a motion that we would approve the contract for this season with Steel City Basketball as presented.
So moved.
There's a
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Tommy Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Renee Patterson?
Yes.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner?
Yes. After reviewing the facility plans and much discussion on the vendor space at Hudson Campbell, I will entertain a motion that we would enter into a contract for the use of the vendor space with Start Smart Smoothie Corporation, contract to be drawn up by our legal services. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Tommy Williams?
Pass.
Commissioner Juanita Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Renee Patterson?
Yes.
Commissioner President Dwight Gardner?
Yes. Mr. Superintendent, are any other things that we need to,
No other action items that require immediate approval, Mr. President.
okay? Any questions or comments from board members? Then I will entertain a motion that we would adjourn our meeting.
So moved.
Meeting is adjourned.